Do you remember your first day of high school? What was it like? And more importantly, how did you feel? Hundreds, if not thousands of kids, all coming from different backgrounds, carrying different stories, gathering in one building to learn. To most, it's unbearably overwhelming. I know it felt like that for me. For the first few months of school, sports proved to be my outlet, but I desperately needed something more. Something that would build my character and shape my outlook on the world. Unbeknownst to me, the solution to this all too familiar problem was sitting right in front of my face the entire time. Every Monday throughout the fall, I watched kids leave my golf practice early to go to their Key Club meeting. This piqued my interest, but at first I was simply too afraid to act on it. After months of wrestling with my anxiety, I finally decided to go to my first meeting in January of my freshman year. On that fateful day, I arrived at the school promptly at 5 p.m. and slipped into the meeting room just in time to hear the words, "I pledge on my honor to uphold the objects of the Key Club International." I was stunned to look upon the faces of over 100 students listening to this one girl in front of the room. That girl, I would go on to learn, was the eloquently spoken valedictorian of the senior class and Key Club president. She was also, from my perspective, an unlikely leader. Before going to my first Key Club meeting, the vast majority of leaders I had been exposed to were the strongest, most athletic members of my sports teams. In my freshman eyes, it was almost incomprehensible to see a leader like that. How could someone who wasn't the biggest, strongest, or loudest person command so much attention? Well, Key Club would soon teach me. The meeting lasted an hour, but it went by in the blink of an eye. And when I reopened them, they were looking upon a whole other world. Just an hour before, I had no knowledge of any charitable organizations within the Valley, but after I knew about wonderful places like Camp Sunshine and KPTI. After the meeting was over, I spoke with Barry Chisholm and joined on the spot. In ensuing years, Barry, our club's advisor, would blossom into one of my essential high school role models. It started with my participation in events for some locally based foundations like Believe in Books, and soon branched off into fundraisers for more national foundations like Camp Sunshine. Throughout the spring, I amassed over 20 hours, a tenfold increase from the 2 I had in 8th grade. And while neither of those numbers may seem substantial, those were 20 of the most important hours of my life. They served as a catalyst for my future in Key Club and allowed me to venture outside of my comfort zone each time I went to an event. From selling raffle tickets on a train weaving through the mountains on a crisp fall day, to auctioning off pies at a Kiwanis banquet on a frigid winter night, each event added a new sense of perspective to my life. A sense of caring and inclusiveness that were once foreign to me started to become like second nature, and I'm better off because of it. Over the next 2 years, I would go on to amass well over 200 hours of community service, take a giant leap out of my comfort zone by volunteering at Camp Sunshine. It was unbelievable to meet families from different cities with different stories be united by one light tragedy and move forward from it. From big events like staying up all night with a group of rowdy tweens in a baking gymnasium, to small ones like playing ping pong with a little girl who had just been dropped off in the game room for the first time. I put forth all of my effort to be the sunshine that would clear the clouds on their dreary day. Key Club made that possible. Key Club also made it possible for me to become one of the first members and eventually vice president of We Dine Together, a club that preaches caring and inclusiveness by sitting with kids who are alone in the cafeteria. Through We Dine Together, I have met a diverse cast of people and eliminated over 60 lunches where someone didn't have a friend. At least 60 more look to be in my future. These organizations have shown me that compassion and love are infinitely more important to possess than any ribbons or trophies from a sport. They have given me purpose throughout my high school years, expanded my impact within my community, and most importantly, shaped my view of the world in which we live today. When I look back upon that shy and overwhelmed freshman from the past, I realize there are only fleeting glimpses of him today. He has changed, and now caring is his way of life.